Welcome to Buzzed and Baffled, the podcast where the wine flows, the stories twist, and the truth is always stranger than fiction. We laugh, we sip, and we dive into tales that leave us buzzing with questions and baffled by reality.
But before we uncork the weirdness, a quick disclaimer. We're not experts, just curious storytellers with glasses in hand. All content within this podcast is our humble opinion. Some content may be dark, disturbing, or downright inappropriate, so listener discretion is advised. And remember, nothing pairs better with a wild story than a good pour, so let's get buzzed and baffled.
We're back.
We are back. We have recorded one episode this evening already, which if you didn't listen to, why did you skip it? It was hilarious.
You need to go to the buzzedandbaffled.net and watch the video that accompanies it, because it is a doozy.
If nothing else, watch the video. Nicole was cry laughing.
It is one of the... It went exactly how I thought it was going to go, and it was as gross as I thought it was going to be. I was very impressed.
Yes. We are recording 2 episodes in one night because the following, so next weekend, the 11th, David and I will be celebrating our wedding anniversary.
They're going to have a romantic dinner.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what we're doing, but our anniversary is actually on the 14th, which is a Tuesday, but nobody can do anything on a Tuesday. So. We'll record 2 tonight, and then we'll record 2 on the 18th, and then because we'll be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we'll be in Vegas later this month because I didn't break my shoulder.
Yet.
I still have a couple of weeks to give it the old college try.
But for now, here we are.
I have entitled this one, so I'm looking at my options here, and I'm going to go A Toast to the Falls.
Okay.
It takes place in, what's the name of the city?
So I think it's Chillicothe.
And I called it Chillicothe.
So it's in Ohio. Someone will correct us.
It's like in the middle of Ohio. The story is...
Oh, we got to do our wine.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You're like me now. I am holding actually a very nicely decorated bottle. Nicole picked this, and it's actually very fitting because it's called Gassier.
And just something rung true to my soul.
I'm sure it's Gassier, but it's a Cote de... Oh, Jesus Christ. Shut up, Leah. Cote de Provence Rosé, which of course everyone knows we love. And I think this is our actually, since we've been doing the ASMR, our first cork.
It's
bottle.
a real cork, and I couldn't even open it because of my bad arm.
So let's see if I can do this.
She tore it in half.
Broke completely in half. Oh no.
This is exactly how her entire night has been going.
You know, I was really hoping for this wonderful pop that our new microphones were going to pick up, and it was going to be really cool sounding. And that thing just silently busted in half.
I mean, I was cackling, so not so silently.
So now I got to try to save some face here and get half of a cork out of this bottle. I don't know how this is going to go. Oh no. We got trouble. Well, got a little pop.
I mean, that was still satisfying.
I think I saved it enough that I've never seen a cork just like bust in half perfectly like that.
I thought it was hilarious.
Of course you did. I'm Nicole today. Apparently it's opposite day.
It's very fun to watch someone else have the same problems that I
don't
have.
know what my problem is. I think I'm just super stressed from work, and
The world said that Molly having explosive diarrhea all over my house
was enough.
and spraining my shoulder
It
was
was
enough.
my turn.
They're like, we're going to give Kyla some of the bad juju for a bit.
Why do I have to have the bad stuff? Like, why can't I just be neutral? But here we go. Ooh, that's very good.
This was another Benny's one. It's a 2024.
Oh, I didn't read the back. It's a little sweet.
It's like, you didn't read that.
You forgot about the one. There is no back.
Oh.
Nope, no back.
I was hoping it's going to be all in French.
Nope, just the government warning. I can read that if you want, but I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
Well, I think we know that my womb is a barren tundra, so I do not need to worry about the government warning.
Yeah, and it's all about women shouldn't drink alcoholic beverages, blah, blah, blah. Quit trying to put us down, man.
You're not the boss of us. You
Nope.
think you are, but you're not.
So, yes, that's called gassier.
The gassier wine.
Nicole had a bunch of dairy earlier, so it's probably... I'm just kidding.
I am going to blow her out of this room.
If you've listened to our previous episode, had Nicole been born when the whale carcass washed ashore, they would have just gave her a pint of ice cream and said, "Have at it."
They wouldn't have needed the 20 pounds of dynamite. They would just have me. I probably would have got it actually out to sea, though.
You would have blown the whole thing straight out to sea. All right, enough about your
My intestinal
inferiority, your intestinal inferiority.
Can't do shellfish, can't do
Oh,
dairy.
what a wreck.
Can't stand up. Like I'm a wreck. So we're in Kitakoti.
Girl, we just talked about this like 2 minutes ago.
I didn't write it down. I just wrote Ohio.
You can just say Ohio. I believe it's Chillicothe, which is not Killicothe.
I am going to post a picture of those two comedians that I was talking about because I 100% feel like that guy right now. So this is in Ohio.
All right.
So the main part of the story is Victoria, who you see in the first photo right there.
Okay.
She
Kind of looks like Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
She does a little bit.
Oh, our fan turned off. Hold on. It's 90 degrees out right now on Saturday, October 4th. I must turn our fan back on.
Like, there is no way it should be 84 degrees still, but here we are. How dare you? So we have Victoria here. She's a married mother of 4 and a photographer in Ohio who specialized in school portraiture. Before I get too far, I was going to share my senior photo.
You look 14 years old.
I also have red hair.
Yeah, you have definitely some auburn going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice photo, though. You look very nice.
But I do look 14.
You look young for being a senior.
And this.
Oh, I'm going to save that. Okay, maybe I'll open one page.
Just have a little peek.
I'm scared of this papyrus that it's going to crumble under my fingers. But I need to have like white gloves and archival.
You do, because this is like pre-Shakespearean times here. Because I already got to go through her childhood album, so now she gets to go through some of mine.
I'm just going to do one quick page here. Well, I'll take one of these and we'll post it on the website.
Yeah. Oh, that's like from the hospital. Go a little bit deeper.
Oh my God, look at Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Also, they tried to contain you
in glass.
But clearly it didn't work.
No. Well, fun fact, when I was born, I had spinal meningitis and I didn't have a right hip. I'm in a medical journal.
Yeah. How did you not have a right hip?
I don't know.
Lisa?
I guess she couldn't withhold and withstand what was growing inside of
You
her.
had sapped enough of her will that she's like, I have nothing more to give.
But also, Lisa doesn't have any hips, so maybe she just didn't know how to build them.
She didn't know how to build them. Poor Lisa. We love Lisa.
But I will let Kyla go through that and pick out some of the gems she really likes, because I have some real doozies of her, I'm saying.
I do appreciate that you agree that turnabout is fair play, that you willingly are giving me that.
Oh, yes, turnabout is definitely fair play. On September 2nd, 2019, Victoria was shooting high school portraits of a local high school students at a place called Old Man's Cave inside a local park when she was struck in the head by a massive log.
Oh.
At first, it was unclear what happened, but shortly after, it became apparent that this was not an accident, and some local teens had intentionally pushed a 6-foot, 74-pound log off a cliff where it struck Victoria in the head, who was working.
You know, I know you asked me if I knew about this, and I said no because I didn't know that. But I do vaguely remember, because this was so recent, a log on the news. But that was all I remember, because then it was COVID and the world changed.
So several high school students were present for the photo shoot and were close to Victoria, like in physical proximity, when she was murdered. The students who were at the photo shoot called 911. On the same day, Jaden Churchhouse and Jordan Buckley, both 16 at the time, were also at the park with 2 other teen girls. You can see those 2 gentlemen in the middle.
That appears, and you're probably going to horn me for this, to be a courtroom.
How long do you think it took the police to figure out what the fuck was going on?
Well, knowing your stories, much longer than it should have.
It was relatively good.
Oh, okay.
It took 5 weeks for the police to discover the cause of death, but they immediately suspected her death was not accidental.
Okay, so at least they were on the right track to start with.
There were several sets of footprints at the top of the hill, and a witness saw 2 or 3 teenage boys fleeing the park at the time the log fell.
Okay.
So the log fell, they were in a gully or something, and the log fell from up top onto them. Later, a local mother called the tip line to report that her daughter reported to her that she had received a text message from a friend that they had done something serious at the park.
Ooh.
So those 2 boys are already off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
Both boys were read the Miranda rights at the school on October 10th, 2019. So September 2nd to October 10th.
Okay. I mean, for something that could have been a freak accident and wasn't immediately apparent, that's a pretty reasonable amount of time. You got to get autopsy reports back. You got to get toxicology back.
Well, and like, because realistically, it could be I was sitting here and like a log fell. I saw what happened. I got scared and I ran away. It doesn't have to be I intentionally biffed a log off a cliff.
Yeah. Okay.
At no point during the interview did either boys request an attorney. That's always your first mistake.
Were they both 18?
No, they were both kids. But
Okay. I'll let you cook.
Jordan Buckley was interviewed without his mother present. However, she had given the police permission to speak to her son. I have the videos of the interviews.
Excellent.
And they're on buzzedandbaffled.net. Kyle, I want you to tell people where to find the videos.
You have to click the 3 lines, and then you get a menu, and then you click inside the episode, and you click the little drop-down arrow, which was a key step that I was missing in the process.
You scroll down to episode 25.
You go down to episode 25, and everything's there.
What is the secondary way you can get there? Because there's 2 ways.
I don't know.
You just click inside the episode, and then all of the episodes are listed, and you can click episode 25, which will bring you to the page.
Okay. See, that's why I couldn't figure it out. There were 2 ways.
I was just too advanced for her. On the video of the interviews, both blamed the other during the interrogation by the police at the school. Jordan initially denied that he did anything and stated, "I don't like snitching on people."
That's a red flag.
When he was told that they have people who identified that he was there, he named 3 other children who were present at the time, stating they are bored and they were bored and going on a hike. And that they were at the top of the hill. So for someone who didn't like snitching, he rolled pretty quick.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not a snitch, but also here's a bunch of details.
Like I'm gonna cry like a canary. I guess sing like a canary.
Yes, the canary's known for their crying.
He sang like a canary.
I don't even know what you were trying to say. What's the saying where it's cry like a... I don't think that's a thing.
I've been paying, guys. Bear with me.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's the reason you messed up a saying.
The only reason. He stated that when someone went past them, that someone got smacked. They were like going down the hill, basically. He said, and someone said, "Oh, someone got smashed by a branch," and told them not to go to the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
He states they left when they saw EMS arrive because they were bored.
So if I'm a teenager, don't spray... Oh, I thought you were going to spray me because I said so. She was just reaching for her wine.
I do like, though, that she's very jumpy about it.
If I'm a teenager, first of all, I'm not going to be on a hike, but I don't know. Let's just say I was a random walk in the woods, which was also not something I did, but wherever. Okay, in Chillicothe or Chillicothe, whatever you call it.
Chillicothe.
There's nothing else to do. If I'm somewhere and an ambulance shows up, I am staying around.
Unless you murdered the person they're going to get.
Unless I was involved.
Yes. During their interview, Jordan indicates that one of the people present, Miranda, was taking pictures with her cell phone. Jordan indicates that he lost the phone he had during that time period.
Oh, I hate when that happens, when I'm in the middle of potentially committing a crime and my cell phone disappears.
I hate it when I've like actively committed a crime and I lose my phone that has all the incriminating photos and text messages on it.
He took a page out of Aaron Patterson's book. Or she took one out of his, rather.
Yeah. Jordan denied that he played a role in the death of Victoria, changing his story several times as the police present new information that they already know. And this falls under the general rule: they don't ask questions they don't already know the answers to. They're trying to incriminate you.
Yes, because if you answer one way, it's a uh-huh, and if you answer the other way, it's a okay.
Like, this is why you always ask for a lawyer, even if you didn't do anything. If the police came to me right now and just busted through the door, so we need to talk to you about a murder that happened, I'm like, I need to call an attorney before I talk to you about anything.
Yeah. Even if I'm so innocent and I can prove in an instant that I was, I don't know, in Europe at the time, I would still be like, nope, I'm not saying a word because I have watched enough true crime documentaries.
You're not going to cry like a canary.
I am not going to cry like a canary. That should be our matching tattoo.
Was like a little bird
A
with
little
tears.
bird with a tear.
Like he's like his little wig.
Tweety bird with a little tear.
It would be amazing. So, he's over there. He's like, I didn't play a role. I lost my phone. Keep changing his story. Finally, Jordan states that he saw Jaden. This is where it gets good. There's Jordan and Jaden.
Jesus.
And they fucking look the same. They both look like different incarnations of Justin Bieber.
And there's probably a Landon and a Hayden. And
they're all terrible. But he said that he saw Jaden kick a branch, which caused it to roll off the cliff.
Okay.
He reported to the police that he told Jaden that he wasn't going to take the fall for him and admitted that he knew someone died. He reported to the police that Jaden told him he was going to plead the fifth and that he wasn't worried about it.
Has basically a 10th grader's understanding of the legal system, which, I mean, that's...
Well, Jordan is also the first person to get interviewed, so he's the person who's going to get the best deal if he rolls on the second person. At this point, Jordan became tearful, so he wasn't so tough anymore.
Was he crying like a canary?
He was crying like a canary. He offered to take the police to Old Man's Cave and show them what happened to avoid getting in trouble. Instead, the police had him draw the photos of the crime scene to indicate who was standing where and how the events unfolded. He provided them with evidence of what Miranda knew from his cell phone. So basically, she's texting him on his new phone because obviously mom bought him a new phone when he lost his last phone.
Of course.
If I, at 17, had lost my phone, I'd be shit out of luck.
Yeah, and you would have been extra shit out of luck because when you were 17, the phone hadn't even been invented yet.
I mean, that's true. Like we were on smoke signals. So like if I
Yeah.
lost my
You lost your smoke signal blanket.
yeah, like that. I'm not.
Lisa would have been like, too bad.
I would have been cold because that's also your sleeping blanket.
I'm gonna knock on wood here. I have never lost a cell phone.
You know what's
dropped it in
gonna
the toilet once.
You know what's gonna happen tonight, right?
Well, I'll be in my own house tonight, so that's fine. I did drop one in the toilet once, but I was able to save it using my wonderful technical skills.
Kind of like how I did my headphones when we went pew-pewing.
We've mentioned it before, but Nicole and I both somehow have concealed carry licenses, and when we went
Anybody can get them.
Yeah, when we went, by some of the people in the class with us. When we went to the class, we were on a bathroom break, and
This was before the class even started.
Yeah, so this is like 7:30 in the morning, and we're at the local wherever it was, the SDC, which people can look up out of there. And Nick, we're using the restroom because we'd had our coffee and we're waiting to go into class. This was an all-day thing, and we had to bring our own ear protection. And I had purchased them from Amazon, and Nicole wanted me to get her pink, but she wasn't willing to pay the extra $5 for pink for some reason. I still don't understand where her cutoff is. But all of a sudden, we're using the restroom. We're in the stalls, and I hear "Oh no!" and then like a clatter and a flush, and I'm like, "What is happening?" And she's like, "I dropped my ear mufflers, whatever, into the toilet."
And then I had to use them.
And these stalls are used by probably 1,000 people every weekend.
So gross.
I think she got like an ear infection the next week.
Like the whole thing was awful. I mean, at least it was my own urine.
Yeah, but I mean, still,
just me and my pee ears.
Your pee ears.
So he showed on his new phone the text between him and Miranda, kind of indicating what she knows now. And when asked why he didn't say anything about this after he knew Victoria, he died. He stated, "I was freaked out about it. I thought it was all going to go away and then I could forget about it."
I'm not a psychologist. I took Psych 101. I think me and Rube actually took it together. Which was a super weird thing. But that seems like a sociopath who's like, something happened and I'm just going to forget about it.
Well, it could be part of it is, your brain is underdeveloped, right? So the human brain isn't fully developed in the best case scenario when your healthy development is happening until about age 25. So he's already lacking fully functioning post-formal thinking. So he doesn't really have a full understanding of behavior and consequences.
Yeah, and I guess that's fair, as a high schooler.
But there's also something to be said of, if I murdered someone, I just hoped it went away and I could forget about it.
Yeah, that's another level.
Well, then we're looking at a cluster B personality.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you and your goddamn words. Continue.
I can't say Chittahook or whatever.
Chillicothe.
When the police called Jordan's mother, he admitted to being there, but denied that he pushed the log, stating that Jaden was the person who pushed the log. So then obviously the police, because they're at the school when this is happening, the police called Jaden into the room. This is so hot.
Yeah, it's hot in here. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll call Byron's in the summer and be like, I need another
vent,
air conditioner head in here because now this is a pod room instead of a storage room.
Like, we cannot take this. So Jaden Churchhouse was interviewed by the police with his mother present on October 10th, the same day, 2019. During the interview, Jaden did not plead the fifth, but he distanced himself from Jordan, stating that they hang out sometimes. I have to quote with one hand. He denied.
It's just an apostrophe when you do that.
I'm just like, I cannot. This is as far as I can raise this arm right now. So
That's fair.
bear with me. He denied knowing Miranda. And so Miranda's also the woman up there.
Okay.
Jaden admits to being at Old Man's Cave on September 2nd, 2019. He initially reports that someone came by telling him that someone was hit and they left when EMS arrived. When Jaden is told by the investigators, they know he is lying and they already have all the answers. At this point, his mother steps in and stops her son from talking, requesting that the police talk to her in private. You gotta pause it?
I just have to let Lana out. She's been very good up until this point, so she's kind of getting antsy. But you can continue.
Blah, 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 blah. At this point, the mother steps in and stops her son from talking. She wants to talk to police in private. The police tell Jaden's mother that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Jaden killed Victoria. But the thing is, the police are also allowed to lie to you. Like,
yes.
They don't have to tell you the truth.
No.
Just because they say that doesn't mean...
Yeah, they could have absolutely nothing, and they're just trying to get...
Like, this could be all circumstantial, and they're just waiting for you to cave. But Jaden doesn't think about that. Jaden then claims that Jordan was the one who kicked the log that killed Victoria. When he is told that all three of the individuals present at the murder all corroborate that he is the one who kicked the log over the cliff and that Jordan already broke the pact by stating that they were going to stick together. And they said he's the one who flipped the log. When asked about Snapchat messages between himself and Jordan, planning what they would say, he states the belief when you open them, they are gone.
Well, the internet is forever, kids.
Well, and also, like, this is also 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people really did think that when you put this out there, it's gone, not thinking like it has to go through a server somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's recorded someplace.
Yep.
But Jordan was educated by the police that these messages can be retrieved.
Mm-hmm.
The police go over Jaden's version of what happened several additional times and have him pull up all his messages and social media on his phone. He does not admit to his role in Victoria's murder. They then obtain DNA with a cheek swab, and he is then formally charged with Victoria's murder.
Maybe I missed it, but what was the DNA used for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm never actually clear on this because you're in the woods. You're not naked when you're kicking the log.
And if you're kicking the log, you have a boot on or
but
a
I'm
shoe.
also thinking if he picked it up, then his hands touched it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that would make sense. Or if maybe maybe there was spit on the ground nearby or something.
Yeah.
Something to prove he was there.
Yeah. But that wouldn't prove he's the one who threw the log. So I'm
Right.
assuming there was DNA on the log.
Okay.
This is all coming from newspaper articles, and none of these people were like Dateline. So this wasn't a deep dive.
Okay.
It wasn't forensic files. This was the Ohio Tribune.
The kitty catty city police.
The kitty catty city police were doing this. His mother states, what do you think his mom says?
Oh, gosh.
When the police are like, and we know you done it. You're under arrest.
She says, not my son. He's an angel.
I mean, we're pretty close. She goes, you can't take him to jail. There are bad people there.
Yeah. That's what jail is.
Also, your son is the bad people.
Yeah. And
I almost spit my coffee out when I was watching this.
that sounds like something that a millennial mother would say.
She attempts to play on the police emotions, stating, are you going to take him out in front of all these people in school? How does that make you feel?
And even if he had nothing to do with it and he was completely innocent and it could be proven at, some point that whatever. Shut up, Mom.
Also, like, your son threw a 74-pound log on someone and killed
Yeah.
them.
He's the reason for jail.
Like, you're kind of losing the plot here
Mm-hmm.
about, like, what's really happening.
Yeah. You can't see the forest for the trees. And that's not really a pun because this is about logs. But.
And, like, as someone who frequently loses the plot, I'm like, get with it, lady. The officer had a very good comeback.
Oh, God, I can't wait to hear it.
He just said, I haven't felt very good since September 2nd.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Jane does not show any emotion during the course of the interview. So when you're watching these two interviews, he's like stone fucking cold.
That's frightening.
Mm-hmm. Cluster B.
Those are the people, and like I said, I've seen thousands of hours of true crime documentaries, and you see people who are over the top, but it's the ones who are stone cold that. Nicole's making me move my microphone. I'm having a hard time with the new microphones.
There we go.
I don't know.
So the thing is, like, he's under the age of 18. So, like, people use the term psychopath very frequently, but psychopath is not a diagnosis.
Do I need to go call David and have him argue that? I don't know what he would say.
I mean, I would love David to argue with me about diagnosing people because I'd be like, when's the last time you diagnosed somebody, David? Mine was on Thursday.
2009.
So, you know, when you're looking at psychopathic behavior, which is what they're kind of talking about, people who hurt people for their own gain without any remorse or because they actually enjoy it. It could be two different things. Because I could hurt somebody and not care, or I could hurt someone because I enjoy it.
Those are two very different things.
But kind of either way, you're looking at antisocial personality.
Neither's great.
Yeah. Your motivation kind of matters, but you still end up with the same diagnosis for the most part. You end up with an antisocial personality or a narcissistic personality disorder. But at their age, they're going to be ODD, oppositional defiant disorder, which is kind of the feeder into, or conduct disorder. Those both are feeders into the antisocial personality disorder.
Okay. This segment has been brought to you by Freshwater Counseling, LLC.
Shh. Also, this is not a HIPAA violation.
No, this is not a HIPAA violation.
HIPAA.
No, HIPPA.
Why do you think it's important to invoke your Miranda rights?
Because there's no right thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you say,
they're fucking with you.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're telling the truth. Saying anything is going against your best interest.
Because if the police are trying to fit a narrative, they can make what you say fit that narrative.
Yeah. And over the last, this is episode 25.
It is.
This is a quarter century episode. So over the last 24 episodes, we've probably heard several times where the police have tried to shoehorn a narrative and completely fumbled the ball or got their person.
Mm-hmm. And I think when they're trying to fit a narrative instead of following the evidence, it's luck of the draw. Because, for example, in Tampa, if they had even attempted to find a narrative, it would have been better.
And it's so much easier to make the evidence fit your narrative than to change your preconceived notions. So, we're
hardwired to take the easiest route to get from point A to point B. So we take whatever is the less manpower, the less brain power.
It's the Occam's razor, where the simplest solution is the answer, but we know that to not be the case most of the time.
Because when you're talking about other people's behavior, you can't predict other people's behavior. No. So I just kind of wrote, invoking your Miranda rights is crucial because it protects you from self-incrimination during police questioning. So while I think both these kids are assholes, they would have been smart to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have your lawyer, whether you are guilty or not, say, yes, you should answer that, or no, you shouldn't.
And both of those mothers should have been like, absolutely not. You're not questioning my kid.
Yes, for sure.
So by remaining silent or requesting an attorney, you ensure that your words cannot be used against you in court and that you have legal representation to protect your interests.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, like, not a lot of people have an attorney on retainer.
No, most people, the vast majority of people do not.
If I got a sticky situation, I'd be like, Lauren, I need you to come down here.
Hey, Lauren.
You busy?
What are you doing tonight? Shout out Lauren. We love Lauren.
Yep. She'd be like, girl.
She's like, I can't be your friend and your lawyer.
I can be a witness or I can be your attorney. I cannot be both. So the two boys were charged with murder. With Murdy.
Oh no! Oh no!
I was like, does that go to the book?
Yeah. Oh no, Nicole.
They were both charged with murder.
I can't wait for John Buzzard to listen to this on a random Tuesday afternoon, and he's gonna text me, and I'm gonna be at work, and all his text is gonna say is Murdy LOL.
So Jaden, and I don't know which of them is Jaden and which one is Jordan. I don't think
it doesn't really
matters.
matter.
They're the same person. He was 17 and Jordan Buckley was 17. At the sentencing, Victoria's husband provided a victim impact statement noting that both boys showed a lack of remorse and that they were selling drugs in high school and that they had claimed to be gang members.
Oh, yes, they look very gang member.
And that both boy defendants had been bragging about what they did. It was reported that Jaden in particular, which I don't know, was he the first one or the second one? I gotta look.
Jaden was the second one.
Okay, yep. The one who was going to plead the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
He reported to have been bragging that he caught a body at 16.
Oh, I have a problem with that. We'll discuss after, but I have a thought on that.
But also, like, both of you have like Walmart haircuts.
Oh yeah, that one is like Temu Bieber,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, his orange jumpsuit is not flattering.
Well, this also tells me, though, that one of them has a good lawyer and one of them does not.
Yes.
Because one of them is sitting in jail and the other one had someone bring him clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Both Jaden and Jordan are charged with murder and reckless homicide.
You're wrecked for the rest of your life.
I'm just going to lean in. That's all I can do at this point. I just have to embrace it. I am who I am.
I don't feel so bad about my struggles this week now.
Just so everyone knows, I've been talking the last couple episodes about this clip that I sent Kyla about these two comedians. And I just entitled it, I Know Which One of These Two I Am. I'm going to post it on Instagram and Facebook, and you decide which one you think I am. Because I feel like him right now. Yeah. Also, he dresses fabulous. We'll take it.
They're also very funny, which I like to think we are.
The two boys were initially charged in juvenile court, but the case was transferred and they were tried as adults. Which I'm kind of always on the fence about.
Yeah.
Because I get that the crime is terrible, but does someone, I think it's a case by case basis on how well does the person understand the long-term consequences of what they did.
Yes. And what is the level of violence? What is the level of forethought involved?
Like, is this premeditated?
Mm-hmm.
Is this an accident?
This might be back to me not knowing how to work the website. I might have completely missed this or I didn't hear you. Did they allegedly, well, not so much at this point, kick or throw the log knowing someone was down there?
Yes.
Okay, so fuck them. Okay.
So they saw them photographing and threw the log over.
Okay, because that was my whole, which I'm like, if it was an accident, it's a horrible, tragic accident.
So I'm going to get on my soapbox here.
Yeah, do it.
Because I very much think that whether or not someone is charged as an adult and the long-term sentence they get is determined by their race and their gender.
Oh, for sure.
Had this been to minority children who were Mexican American or Black American, African American, I guess is what I should say. Sorry, guys. But they would have had the book fucking thrown at them and they would have gotten life.
Oh, they would have been in adult jail like from the moment they got arrested.
But because these are two white kids in Ohio claiming to be in gangs, the court goes more lenient.
Yeah, that's, I mean, we see it all the freaking time. But yeah, since they actively acted in that manner.
And to be fair, though, they were all there. Only one of them threw the log.
Right.
So I'm in a situation where I chose shitty friends. But once I realize that, it's too late. The damage has been done. And am I just a dumb kid who didn't know that I need to say something? Or am I a bad person who's like, I'm trying to get out of it?
Yeah, and that's going back, who said what to the police. If I'm just, thankfully I was never in that situation, but if I was, I would have said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was there. This kid did
like,
this.
I am out.
Yeah. Like, I'm not having any part of this. I'm not covering for anybody.
I'm definitely not going to have Snapchat discussions about how we're going to make conversations to plan how we're going to get out of it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be like, yeah, I caught a body at 16. Like,
yeah, I'm also disgusting. I'm not going to be texting random people about what I did.
I'm not going to brag about it. That's disgusting.
So the two boys were charged separately and had separate trials. Buckley's attorney, which is Jordan, the first one who was interviewed, attempted to suppress his interview, citing the police did not notify him that he was the suspect in the case, and only told him he was being interviewed as a witness, which, maybe not the best.
But again, do they have to tell you that you're a suspect?
I mean, do they know? But if that's going to make it so someone gets off of a murder charge, are you willing as a police officer to tell them so it's not suspect?
Yeah. And
you want your case to be ironclad.
And did they know at the time that he was a suspect, or did he become a suspect based on what he said?
Yep. And I'm sure that's something the prosecutor would have had to choose or to prove. However, it is seen during the interview that both Jordan and Jaden were read their Miranda rights at the start of the interview. The police told them, you can ask for attorneys. And Jordan didn't have his mother present, which, why the fuck not? If someone called me at work and said, the police are here to interview your kid at school, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a, if nothing else, a what the fuck moment, but at most, like, it's gonna be a mom coming in and swatting her kid upside the head. Like, what did you do?
Either I'm gonna be mama bear and protect, or someone's definitely grounded in the least.
Yeah. Either way, you're involved.
Yeah. And so the second one was there, but she just let them question him. And I was like, as I was watching this video, because it's a long video, because it's both interviews, I'm just amazed that they're just like letting it happen.
People,
ask for an attorney.
Ask for an attorney. It doesn't matter if you are 1,000,000% innocent.
Unless you're the victim. Ask for an attorney.
Yeah.
So in 2020, Jaden pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter as part of a plea. The murder and reckless homicide charges were dropped. And I think that's because it wasn't like a planned thing. It was I was here and I was impulsive and I did something stupid. The cases were returned to juvenile court for sentencing as part of the plea agreement, and they both received, how many years do you think?
They were both remanded back to juvenile court for sentencing?
There were 17 at the time.
I guess I don't know the laws in juvenile court. Can you sentence into adulthood, or are you limited?
It can go into adulthood.
Okay. 7 to 15 years.
4.5 years in an
Okay.
Ohio juvenile detention facility.
Okay.
In court at his sentencing, Jaden, the second one, showed no emotion during the victim impact statements, but did state, "The day at Old Man's Cave, I never would have imagined that my actions would result in this." Which I wish you could see how hard I'm rolling my eyes right now, guys, because he picked up a
Mhm.
log and threw it at somebody.
Yeah.
"I have thought about the fact that I caused someone's death every day since it happened, and I will carry that for the rest of my life. I appreciate the kindness of Miss Schaefer's family, the Attorney General's office, and the prosecutor's office giving me a second chance. I realize that nothing I say can bring Miss Schaefer back, but I am truly sorry." And I'm all like, your lawyer wrote a really nice
Your
statement.
lawyer exactly wrote that. Especially for a kid who has shown no remorse.
Like, are you pretty proud that you caught a body still?
Yeah. And someone who bragged through this entire process.
Like the grandiosity of it all.
Mhm.
At his sentencing, Jordan stated, "I know that nothing I can say right now will change what happened that day. I know that no words that I can speak can bring back your beloved wife, mother, daughter, and sister." He was emotional when he was talking to Schaefer's family. "I understand that my actions and the day has caused your family's life to change, and my hope from all of this is to use the trauma to learn and live the rest of my life in a way that will honor Miss Schaefer."
That sounds a little more heartfelt.
Like, I feel like maybe between the two of them, he might have more of a chance.
At being a productive member of
But
society.
I'm willing to bet after 4.5 years in a juvenile detention facility, that ship may have sailed.
Yeah, we all know how well juvenile detention
Yeah,
facilities
like they're not
rehab offenders.
Yeah, they're not therapeutic in nature.
No. I don't know about the first kid who has no remorse and he's just saying canned statements. The second kid, probably with some severe, serious level counseling, and he may realize his true impact and want to change his life for the better.
And I'm willing to bet that the first one, Jordan, the thing he's going to need therapy for is what he's experienced after that. Because a lot of times we learn the most from the consequences of our actions, and he just happened to pick a real doozy. This wasn't, "Oh, I crashed the family car." This was, "I played a role in somebody's death, and my life is now ruined."
Yeah.
Because everyone knows who I am.
Yep. Yeah, and taking accountability is a big step. A big first step towards becoming a changed person.
And it's not to say, they both have the potential, because someone can live with antisocial personality disorder. And I can't diagnose either of these people because I've never met them. But you can live with it, or narcissistic personality disorder, and be successful because you're aware of your behavior patterns and what you're doing, and you're making a conscious effort not to do those things.
You have to buy into wanting to be better.
Like, you have to recognize that in order to get what I want, I can't lean into my baser impulses, because that hurts people. And society doesn't work if we hurt each other. So then we have the third teen, Miss Miranda, up there. She's 19. She was already an adult when this happened.
Girl.
So she was there the day that Jaden and Jordan dropped the log on Victoria. She was the driver to and from the scene of the crime.
Okay.
She has been charged and indicted with 1 count of obstruction of justice. She testified against Jaden and Jordan in their criminal trials, stating that the boys intentionally pushed the log over the cliff and then ran away. So she seemed to say it was both of their faults, that they did it in tandem.
Okay. And she acknowledges she was, yes,
goes,
I was there and I was
there, I witnessed it.
But I didn't do
anything to
action.
Stop it. I didn't participate, but I didn't stop it, and I didn't report it after. In fact, I was part of the conversations talking about how to get out of it.
Yeah.
She admitted that they were leaving the park when the emergency vehicles arrived. And Miranda noted that when they arrived back to her car, neither boy cared about what happened. They were making jokes about catching a body. She is, as of right now, ordered to have no contact with Jordan or Jake. So in the end, there's no reason for Victoria's death. There was no connection between Victoria and the boys that murdered her. They later reported that they thought throwing the log over the cliff would be funny.
I have a real problem with that. I
Mhm.
mean, not just the fact that they killed somebody, but the callousness and the being so cavalier about taking a life is disgusting.
Well, and so like when you're looking at like these kind of behaviors, obviously, disclaimer, I can't diagnose either of these kiddos. But when you're looking at conduct disorder, this is typically someone who is under the age of 18 who habitually violates the rights of others and will not conform the behavior to laws or social norms appropriate for their age. Conduct disorder may be described as juvenile delinquency. Behavior patterns which bring a young person to contact with the juvenile justice system or other disciplinary actions from parents, administration, from schools. And like, it didn't sound like this had happened.
Joking on wine.
I did not do that to her. So, like, I could not find, obviously, juvenile records are closed. So, I
Right.
could not find if any one of them had anything. But, like, during the interviews, I feel like the police would have brought up, like, hey, remember all the times you had all these problems?
Mhm.
And, like, that was never brought up or in court.
Did you come across anything about their home lives?
No.
Either positive or negative?
So, the only thing was that Jaden, the second one, admitted to having involvement around the age 9 with the police. But that could have been, like, throwing firecrackers
Or
at somebody.
stealing a
It
candy
could have
bar
been
from the
something
grocery store.
stupid. But when we're looking at conduct disorder, we have some of our favorite behaviors on here. I put this in here just for you, Kyla.
Yes. Do I have a conduct disorder?
Aggressive behavior toward others and animals. Fri-
I'm
remember,
only laughing because
do you remember when you yelled at Lana at dinner because she was begging?
sometimes I snap and yell. So, okay, yep, that's a check in my box.
Frequent altercations with others. I mean, I know my shoulder's real sore right now.
Yeah, because I pushed you.
Use of weapons to harm others. Deliberate physical cruelty to other people. Deliberate physical cruelty to animals. Involvement in confrontational economic crime. So, like, you're robbing somebody.
Mhm.
You know, forcible sex against someone. Property destruction. Arson's a big one.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying yeah because I do arson. No.
No, but like if you're looking at someone who does fire setting, that's
Yeah.
something we look for. So like if a kid is experiencing like really bad behaviors, I always say, is there fire setting? So engage in non-confrontational retail threats. Like, did he steal a candy bar?
Mhm.
Am I just like robbing people because I think it's fun? Because I like the thrill. Has run away from home. Is truant from school. That's another big one. And so that's child behavior, right? Because children are not fully formed. They don't necessarily know what they're doing.
Right.
But that's a feeder into antisocial personality disorder. And that's for people over the age of 18. And they were both 16 at the time of the crime. It is possible for those with conduct disorder to graduate to antisocial personality disorder, but it doesn't always happen.
Okay.
If a child has therapy with conduct disorder, they can learn the skills to get what they need without hurting people. Like, I don't work with children in my private practice, so don't come to me.
Stay away.
But definitely go to someone else for therapy.
Yeah. Your kid needs therapy, just not with Nicole.
But it's important to note that, like, nowhere in any documentation did I find that there was any diagnosed mental illness with either of these children.
So they literally may have just been a couple of assholes.
I mean,
And I certainly do not want to discount their behavior in any way because it's absolutely abhorrent. But
Well-
also they were 16.
But you bring up an important point that not all behavior is means you have a diagnosis. Sometimes people are just assholes. But at this level, there's likely something else going on, and just like nothing was brought to people's attention.
Yeah. When I was 16, 2 years ago,
I kidnapped her from high school and I brought her here and I made her be my friend.
I mean, I was a good, like, you can even ask Jail. I was a good kid.
You and John Buzzo were just out robbing the holiday
Yeah.
gas station, rolling people in the parking lot.
We were walking around listening to Beethoven. Just
you guys were
out.
14 closing down stubs.
Dang, you caught us.
That's why that goblet's in there that I
Yeah.
always drink out of.
No, but I can't imagine, first of all, being I'm going to call them bad kids. I was a good kid. I fought with my mother. I fought with my sister.
Normal
That
teenage
was
stuff.
normal teenage stuff. And even then, I would say
You
it was
were
like,
establishing an independent personality, which is what happens during your teenage
that was
years.
like, I was even like normal light, like,
Yeah.
like barely grazing the surface.
I laughed because I've never actually seen Kyla mad. And I was like, I think it might be really scary because it'd be like a sleeper attack. And I'd be like, holy shit.
Have you ever seen the Hulk?
That was exactly in my mind. I was like, I'm picturing like, I'm hoping the bra stays on, but like just your pants or like your bra are left. You're like, "Whoa. Don't make Kyla angry.
I can't imagine being 16 years old and doing something so vile for the fun of it.
I'm 45 and I can't picture throwing a log on somebody.
Undeveloped as my brain was,
Yeah.
or still is, because I'm only 19 now. Nicole's making me underage drink.
Bad influence. Just so everyone knows, I'm planning her 40th birthday party right now.
You're all invited, all 5 of you.
I might make us podcast a little bit, pass the mics around.
Even our listeners in Turkey, Australia, and Iran, please come. We would love to meet you. We're going to have hot dogs, though, so
Yeah.
beware. It's a fascinating story from a standpoint of childhood versus adulthood, but it's also horrifically sad.
Well, because like the guy, I already forgot his name. Because as soon as I do the story, they're out of my brain. My Tampa guy.
Bobby Joe Long.
Bobby Joe Long. Like Bobby Joe Long was a fully formed, granted he had brain damage, but he was a fully formed adult capable of multi-step planning. These kids didn't multi-step plan. They're just assholes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're assholes who had some, like, I'm guessing, obvious problems. They were selling drugs in the bathroom at school. So.
And I don't know if, I'm not trying to be like, and back in my day, because everyone does that.
3 years ago.
But, and maybe it was just because it was Ontonagon. We had bad kids. We didn't have kids who killed people.
Yeah. Well, when I was in high school, granted, this was like the 1700s.
Cleopatra was like your science teacher.
Yep.
He built the pyramids for geometry class.
This is why I'm so good at construction, Kyla, because I built the pyramids.
Yeah, I mean, the worst things that kids did was they got MIPs. They smoked a little weed.
Well, yeah, you do dumb shit. You get caught drinking because you're experimenting, but you're not like selling drugs in school and like murdering people.
Yeah, and I don't know if
bragging
that's
about it.
a phenomenon of social media being so prevalent in their everyday life, or if it's just these two are just assholes.
It's hard for me to tell because my population view is skewed.
Oh yeah, and living here, we're like 5 years behind the entire world.
But I also work with the severely mentally ill, so all I see is that. So it's hard for me to get a gauge for how prevalent it is because I don't have kind of a mild to moderate balance at the same level to look at.
And it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I graduated with 63 people, including myself. Maybe if I had a class of 1,200, something like this could have happened. And it might just be, like you said, sample size or sample population that we live in. But
And I just did a study, or I didn't do this. I read about a study where they're talking about how instant gratification is really impacting how people function, because we can get information at our fingertips and we can get immediate responses from things. And so we're just used to that. So our distress tolerance for anything else is lowered.
And like you said,
because we're used to it.
There's the clout chasing complete aspect of, these
Social
kids
media.
who were born in 2003, if they were 16 in 2019, they've never known a life
without social media. I'm so happy that when I grew up, all the dumb shit I did as a teenager is not recorded. Like, there is no evidence of the stuff I did.
Yeah. There was no social media while I was in high school. The summer that I was, like a month before I headed to Northern, the Facebook came to Northern.
Like, I was finishing college when Facebook came out.
And that was 2004.
And I don't think I even really knew what Facebook was until I was out of college.
Yeah. And I just remember back then it was only for college people.
I should look and see on Facebook. When did I make my account?
And I remember, I made it right away because it was a way to connect with your peers.
Yeah.
And I actually remember the first person who added me on the Facebook, and it was Tina Van Dyke. Shout out Tina, who was my drill instructor in marching band. And we're still, acquaintances to this day. She works with my sister. But, even then, it wasn't this clout chasing, gotta get likes, doing things for the sake of social media. It was, oh, hey, it's my birthday, happy birthday. That was when you could still poke people.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember poking. I can't see when my account was made. But I'm sure the first two numbers were 19. At the turn of the century, guys.
Well, now Nicole's making her Facebook page.
There's like some old-timey music, and I got my straw hat.
That's what people saw before they went and saw a movie.
a talkie. And I did not do a lookup, but I will look up and see kind of like where are they now, and then I'll post it.
I'd be interested because Jaden... I'd be interested to see if Jaden and Jordan have taken different paths in life based on their reaction to their crime and sentencing.
I'm also hoping they went to the same juvenile detention facility. I'm hoping they were different.
I wonder if that may have been, unless they were like in separate units. I have no idea in Connie Cootie, Illinois.
Yeah, I don't know how much Kitchicoochee. But I'm assuming it's a very rural area like here, where we have 2 juvenile detention facilities in the UP, and neither are great.
Yeah, and this place is direct, due south of Columbus, so yeah. I wonder if they were closer to the Columbus area. But yeah, I'd be interested in an update on that.
So I will do an update.
Excellent.
Eventually. And,
nice.
And we'll see. I mean, by eventually, we know by next week. I'll have looked.
Yeah, or next time we're recording, because we're doing off cycle again. But we must feed our rabid fans every week.
I mean, we want all 14 of you.
We don't want you to miss a week. I can't believe we're on episode 25.
I know, we're a quarter of a century old now.
Oh my God.
I mean,
this podcast is older than me.
Nothing is older than me, Kyla. I'm eternal.
Lilith. Anyhow.
To the next pour and the next plot twist.